What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, All the Dialogue. I got a special guest on the line. So if you don't mind, introduce yourself to the people.
Hey, yeah, my name is Nanci Fletcher. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm an artist. Used to work in LA a lot. Did stuff for Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Tupac, Ice Cube, Dog Pound, Warren G, a few other artists in LA. And that's about it.
So I want to get right into it. Give me a detailed account of you meeting Dr. Dre and how that led to you working with Death Row.
Well, I used to live in this area in North Hollywood, California. It was like an area where like a lot of up and coming artists used to live. And Dre's bass player used to live next door to me. And Dre needed a singer, so somebody heard me singing. I was walking down the street singing, I guess. And then he came and he told me to come down to the studio. Went down there, met Dre. He was like, "Oh, can you sing to this George Clinton song?" And he just played the song, and I just started singing to it. And he's like, "Okay, well, why don't you just come up here every day? I'm working on this project." He said, some days I might need you, some days I might not, but I just need a singer here in case I need him. I was like, okay. So when I came, he's like, "Oh, this is the first project. This artist named Snoop Dogg. I'm working on his album." So I just used to just be up there every day, and we, was doing the album, and then I just, started doing everything up there. It was cool.
So the first Death Row album you was on was Doggy Style?
Yeah, Doggy Style. When I got there, they had already done What's My Name and Gin and Juice, but I did some background on both of those. But they had already completed those songs. But I did everything else on the album, all the skits, all the female parts. It was cool. It was a great time. One of the best times I've had in the industry. It's a lot of fun. It was just the guys up there, Snoop, Daz Corrupt, Nate Dogg, Warren G used to be up there. A few other people, Rage, of course, and it was cool. It was real tense because Dre was kind of late with the project, so at the end it kind of rushed. We did all the skits in 1 hour. We had to rush and do all those skits. It was a fun time, just fun.
What was the exact songs you was on Doggy Style?
Well, let me see. I did all the skits on there. I did Lottie Dottie, Murder Was the Case, Serial Killer, Ain't No Fun. I did Ain't No Fun, me and Nate Dogg. I did Doggy Dog World with the Dramatics and G's and Hustlers. And that's it. And all the skits, the beginning, the bathtub scene. Me and Sam Snead did a skit. I was just all on the album. I was the only female working on the album. I was the only one. There's another girl named Ladindi. I'm sorry, what's my friend's name? I'm sorry, I can't even. Lashina Denty. She did What's My Name. She was the lead singer in What's My Name. And then David Ruffin Jr., David Ruffin from The Temptations, his son created and did all the parts on Gin and Juice. Those were done before I came. But I was on the remix of Gin and Juice and What's My Name and a few other songs that I wasn't there for. But yeah, those are the only two songs I didn't do, except for like Pump Pump. That was Lil Malik from a group called Illegal. And he did, what other song did Lil Malik did? Oh, he did Bitches and Niggas. He did that one. Excuse my language. I don't know if I can say that one. But yeah, I was on practically every song on there. And yeah, it was great. It was great. And we didn't know it was gonna be that big, but I know they kinda knew. It was like really anticipated back then though. I forgot. It was like one of the hottest albums. Everybody's waiting for it, So it was exciting.
Right, right. How did it feel? Like, how did it feel when you was doing that album and it dropped and it had all that success?
Well, you know, actually, to be honest, I really didn't know because I was kind of clueless. I was like, I really didn't know how big. I knew Dre and them were big, but I was because I was from Brooklyn. You know, I wasn't into the West Coast stuff, the West Coast sound. I mean, I knew of them. I used to like that song they did, Dre Day with Joel singing. I used to like that, but I didn't know a lot of. And I knew, you know, Deep Cover. I remember that, but I wasn't really into the West Coast sound like that. I know NWA, but you know, not really. So when I got when I started working with him, when I got the gig working with him, I was just, you know, I knew that music was good. That's what I knew. When I was in the studio listening to the songs, the music from Snoop's album, I was like, it reminded me of some East Coast stuff. So that's why I was like, okay, this producer is dope. It was Dre. I was like, okay, he's dope. So I knew the music was good, and it was so much fun doing the album, and everything just turned out good. So I knew it was a good album, but I didn't know how much, you know, how anticipated it was really. I didn't really know until afterwards, you know. And but the next day, you know, when everybody from New York, my home, because I didn't really get credit on all the songs I was on, but I was lucky to get credit on a couple of songs, thanks to Snoop at the last minute. He, you know, he went to Jimmy Iovine. Long story. That's a whole other story, but people did see my name on a couple of songs, you know, and it was really a good feeling. And everybody was calling, you know, because it was like one of the biggest things the next day. I couldn't really believe it. It was major. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody was playing it. I mean, everybody, you know.
So Doggy Style comes out, it sells millions and millions of records. I'm sure a whole lot of death row artists at the time wanted to collab with you after the success of Doggy Style. So take me through that, man. Tell me some of the projects that you was involved in after, you know, the success of Doggy Style.
Well, I was just on everything. I was just like Dre's main singer. It was only me there. You know, Joel was really closer to Suge. That was, you know, it was basically, she was with him, I was with Dre. So any projects Dre did, that's how I got to do so many other projects. Because once you're with somebody like Dre, you know, everybody else wants to have who he has, you know. They want the singer that he works with. You know, even if you know, just, okay, whatever. That's how people are. You know, they just want the hottest shit. If somebody's hot, whatever they use, they want to use. So I got a lot of work, you know, and then I was just on everything Dre did. We did, you know, a few soundtracks. We did Above the Rim. We did Murder Was the Case first. Snoop did a whole movie about that. We did a whole soundtrack to that. Then we did, you know, Keep the Heads Ringing. After that, we did the Friday soundtrack. After that, we did something for that. I mean, then we did the Dogg album. I was doing stuff for Ice Cube, all of his groups, Caution. He had a few acts he was, you know, developing. I used to go run over there and work with him a lot. I used to work with Warren G and his groups. He had the Twins. I used to do his stuff, and you know, I did some stuff with Shaq. Shaquille O'Neal was trying to rap at one time. I did a song with him and this group from London. I used to do everybody. I used to start, you know, and then I used to, you know, moonlight and tour with different people, R&B artists. I used to go sing with R&B, you know, because back then, you know, I wasn't signed. You know, Dre knew he was leaving a while before everybody else. So he didn't want me to sign to Death Row. I used to want to, but he's like, no, I'm about to do my own thing. But he used to, you know, send me around the country to do songs with people just to develop me, to get my album ready. He was going to do a project with me. So I was just doing that, just working on, you know, just whatever project he did, I would just be working on it, you know. And then, you know, when Tupac came, a lot of stuff changed, you know. That was like at the end. I was getting to be the end, you know.
That was you singing on Keep Your Head Ringing?
Yeah, that was me doing the lead. My homegirls, Barbara and Danette, they did the ring ding dong part with me. But we had a few girls come in to do the ring ding dong. We had different groups of girls because Dre was trying to get a certain sound where we kind of settled on me, Barbara, and this other girl. But then I did all the other parts, the ad-libs, the breakdown. If you want to get on all this stuff, yeah, that was dope. And it's funny, I was gonna that was going to be one of my first songs of my own because one time Dre called me out. You know, it was just like me, Sam Snead, Dre, Butter, this guy named Flex. That was our little crew. You know, it was just us. And you know, that's when Dre was kind of leaving Death Row. He was like trying to, you know, easing away. You know, but so Sam Snead was his, you know, one of his major producers that he worked with. And that was actually, Keep the Heads Ringing was actually a song Sam Snead had before he came to Death Row. And I think that was I think that was one of them. But so Dre was gonna, so after we did the song, you know, the song blew up, it was really dope. And Dre was like, well, you know, why don't you come over here? He said, I'm gonna take my verses out and let you sing the verses, and we're gonna, you know, let you have the remix. It'll be your song. I was all excited. I was like, well, yeah. But you know, I went over there and we sat around, and I couldn't really think of nothing to sing. I was like, he said, you can't think of nothing, and I didn't even think of asking him to get somebody to write for me. Right? We didn't even think like that back then. I was like, I thought I had to do it myself. Sam was there, so we sat around there for a couple hours. I couldn't think of nothing. He was like, oh, whatever. So then we just started doing something else, whatever, then we left, but we never revisited. So that was an opportunity I really missed. That was supposed to be my song, too. So, yeah, so we did that. I did Keep the Heads Ringing, you know. I did a few songs on Above the Rim, just, you know, like whatever he was doing, like Natural Born Killers, I did that. We did that, you know. And just whatever, you know.
Right. So I want to go back to something you said earlier. What exact song did you do with Shaq?
You can't stop the rain. It was a song that this group had done before, and the girl from that same group that did it, I can't think of them. She was on it. Me and her did it. They called me to work on it. You can't stop the rain when it stops to fall. It was a hit song back in the day, and then Shaq redid it. It was cute. It was funny. And I just knew these producers. They were cool. They liked me. They was like, why don't you come? The girl that did it the first time, the original person, she was on there. But they're from London. I can't think of the name. They wanted me to just come and add some more stuff. But, yeah, I just did a little stuff. It was cool. But it was like, they used to play it on the radio and stuff. It was funny.
Wow, I had no idea that was you singing on that song.
Yep. Do you remember that song?
Yeah, I was just checking out that song a few weeks ago. I remember that song just
Yeah.
like yesterday.
I think I might have got credit. I think they might have gave me my credits on that one too. I gotta check back with Shaq. I gotta see what's up with that. Yeah, but Shaq was out there trying to rap. It was funny. He did pretty well too. He was out there. I'm surprised. A lot of them, God rest his soul. Kobe was rapping back then too. So yeah, God rest his soul. A lot of the rappers were basketball players were trying to rap back then. But yeah.
Yeah, man, Shaq was actually a good rapper, to be honest.
Yep, he was. I liked that, and that song was good. Shaq was dope. I liked him. I used to like his songs and he was rapping.
Yeah, man, Shaq was a good rapper, man. He was pretty good. But how did you meet Tupac?
Well, actually, Dre introduced me to Tupac on the California Love video set. And I got to ask Dre. I don't know if Tupac asked him to introduce me to him. I don't know, but Dre told me to come down there and hang out. They was doing the video. And then I went out there. It was at this desert. Went down there. We stayed overnight. It was like a 2-day shoot or something. But when I got to the set, Dre, I drove up and Dre was like, yo, come in. He was like, Tupac, come in. This is Nanci. And he was like, yo, what's up, Nanci? So I was like, hey. And then we went in the trail. I went in the trailer with Tupac and my other homegirl, Natasha Walker. She's another singer she does a lot of stuff with Tupac. She was there. And we just went in the trailer, and Tupac was really nice. He was just telling me. And when I first met him, I didn't even know him. But 2 minutes, he was telling me the whole Biggie shit, what happened, everything. I was like, wow. I mean, everything, detail, why he didn't like him, blah, 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 this and that. And I was like, yo. Anyway, so he was like, yo, I'm finished my album. This was All Eyes on Me. He said, we're doing the mixing, but I want you to come down and get on some of the songs during the mix. I was like, okay. So he took my number, and then the next day, he called me, I went down to Can-Am. He was working at Can-Am. And Johnny J was there, Johnny J's wife, my homegirl Cappuccino, I love her. And then I just started, I think the first song I did was, I don't know, the first, maybe it was, Who Do You Believe In, I think. Either that or Unconditional Love, one of those songs. I think those were one of the first songs. And then I did, and then he would just call me like every day to come down, you know. He was like, Nanci, come down, or Johnny J would call me or something like that. And then it was really cool. We just started, I would, you know, and he was so supportive of me, you know. He really thought I could sing. He really liked me. He was like, yo, I want to write some songs for you. I was like, cool. He was like, blah, blah, blah. And then we did, he used to just tell me to come down, even if he wasn't there. He was like, go work with so-and-so. Like, I used to work with DJ Bobcat. We did Holla at Me. Then DJ Pooh, I went down there. We did When We Ride. Did that with DJ Pooh. Then I started doing some stuff. He was doing some songs for MC Hammer. And he asked me to come get on them, like Too Tight. Unconditional Love was for Hammer too. I think he did that. I think Hammer might have done it. Yep, that was for him. I did them songs, and then I started doing a whole lot of songs for Hammer's album that didn't come out. Hammer's my boy. I love him. Tupac was doing a lot of stuff for him. He really liked MC Hammer. He really loved him, and he was really wanting to. He wanted him to have a dope album. He was really working on Hammer's album heavy before he died. And then, I did like 8 songs with him. I did Don't Stop the Music. I did like 8 songs. 4 of them were on the album. Me and Dre did a couple of songs with him. We did Can't See Me and California Love. Now, California Love, I'm really pissed about that because, I used to moonlight when I was at Death Row. Like, if things were going slow, I would go, like I said, sing with some R&B singer or go dance with some rapper. So when they did the original, the California Love, I was not there. I was so mad. But when I came back, I was able to get on the remix of California Love, which was dope. But I did, on All Eyes on Me, I did Can't See Me. I did Holla at Me, When We Ride, and Life Goes On. Me and this girl named Stacy Smalley was on the song first of Life Goes On. And then Tupac called me. He was like, Nanci, can you come and, get on the song, do some oohs or do some shit, somebody. He said, fill it, just go off, whatever. So I went in and just did some oohs, ooh, did some ad-libs. Life goes on. I did a few other shit for him, and then that turned out to be one of his biggest songs, Life Goes On. So I did that, and then the other songs we did, I didn't expect them to come out because he died before they came out. But they didn't start putting out stuff like, Don't Stop the Music. We did a few other songs, can't think right now, but they've been putting them out. Oh, Who Do You Believe In? Unconditional Love. Yeah, all those songs. Those songs came out after he died.
Yeah, you definitely did a lot of songs with Tupac. We definitely gonna go more into detail about that later in the interview. But if you don't mind, can you go more into detail about what Tupac told you personally about Big?
Well, it was crazy because he was really what he said, and this is why I tell people, Tupac was mostly hurt by Biggie. He was telling me that because I didn't know that he knew Biggie before Biggie was famous. He said he used to come, and Biggie used to come stay at his house. He was like, he taught him everything. He taught him, about song structure. He was like, he taught him how to do songs geared towards women. He was like, if you get females, but he said bitches, and he was like, as long as you get bitches, the niggas will come. He's like, so you need to, like all that stuff, baby, baby. He said he taught him all that stuff. He said he taught, and I had just met this man. And my friend, Natasha Walker, she's a witness. She was right in the trailer with us. He just started telling me how, and he really felt like, so what he was telling me, he said he used to, let him stay at his house when he came to LA, show him everything. And he said that when when Biggie blew up, he kind of, didn't return the favor or something, or he felt like, the little rape case with the girl out there, the guys that really raped the girl, I think he met them through Biggie, and he was like, he just felt that Biggie and them knew the guys were going to kill him. And I remember one thing he told me that stood out was, when he got shot at the Quad Studio, the first time he got shot, and he survived that time when he and Puffy and them were all upstairs in the studio. That's the one he really felt. I don't know about the timeline, but I just know that shooting is the one he really thought Puffy and Biggie knew, because he told me that he went in the elevator, right? He was supposed to do something up there, and he said he got in the elevator, blah, 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 the guy shot him. But he said that when he went upstairs and the elevator shut up, he said when he got out the elevator, Puffy and Biggie and all of them were standing there. And he was like, he said they looked like they saw a ghost. They didn't even come to him, try to help him. He said he thought that it looked like they thought that he would be dead, but he wasn't. He said, and there's some rapper, his name was Little Sean. I haven't really heard of him soon. He said, that's the only person. He said, he's the only one I didn't think that. He said, he's the only one that came. He was like, oh my God, Tupac, you shot him. He said, he came. He was like, he said, they was all like standing still, like they saw a ghost, Biggie. So that's what made him think he knew that they knew some guys were coming to kill him. And he was like, that's what pissed him off a lot. He told me. And he was like, that's when I thought I knew they were not on my team. He said, I think it was a setup, blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, and one other thing that stood out that I really felt bad, he was like, he was really mad at him. He was like, everywhere Bad Boy and them go in the next year, I forgot what year it was, maybe 96. He said, everywhere they go, every state they go to, every city, we gonna go there too and fuck their shit up. He said, there's no room for me and Biggie in 96. He said, somebody got to go. And I was like, oh my God. Because, I didn't really, because I'm from New York and I love Puffy and all of them. I'm an East Coast. I loved everybody. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what is going on? I really was like kind of sitting there shocked. But I didn't say anything, She was like, yeah, Nanci, whatever. He said, so yeah, I'm going to go back out here and finish the video, whatever. He said, I'm going to call you, whatever. But he told me a mouthful, and that's his whole thing. He just really thought that, and then, he just thought that, but, I heard from Biggie's side that they told him not to hang with those guys. They was like, but they said Tupac wanted to be around somebody, the drug dealers, whatever. But, I just know he was more hurt at Biggie than, and I think that's how some people, react when they're hurt. They just act out like that. They want to hurt you, But I know he had love for Biggie, and I really wish they could have gotten together. It would have been crazy, I hate that, they couldn't really work that out. I hate they lost their lives before they can work it out. Because I know, I don't know, I met Biggie one time when Dre sent me to New York to work with these producers, and I met him at the studio, and Biggie came to me and was like, yo, I want you on some of my stuff. But then somebody said that they didn't want to deal with Suge. And everybody thought because I was down with Dre, and I wasn't really, just because I was down with Death Row, they just thought Suge was, gonna, and he did like a few things to make that seem real. He was like kind of hating a lot of time before Tupac came around. He was like, because he wanted Dre to work with his artist Joel, and Dre was working with me, so it was like tension there. It was a lot of tension. But anyway, that's why I didn't work with Biggie, because they said Suge was out there. That's the time when Suge was out there. He was acting intimidating, so nobody wanted any problems with him. So, but I did meet Biggie once, and he did say that he wanted to work with me. That was cool. But so, back to Tupac, I just think that, if Tupac if he would have just been, came and hung with Dre and us, me and Dre, I think he would have been a lot, because we had a whole different vibe going over there, and, it was no drama. It was just about working. And I really feel bad that Tupac really didn't have a chance to really, because he wasn't like that. Tupac was really sweet. He was so nice. He had, different sides to him. I remember, one time after I finished singing the song, Natasha Walker called me and she was like, yo, Nanci, because she was really close to Tupac. She knew him from years before, and she was like, Tupac called me and asked me to invite you over to his house, me and you. He wants to cook some food for us and show his appreciation for us singing on his album. I was like, really? So she came and got me, and we went over there. It was just Tupac by himself. He had cooked everything. He was barbecuing. He had, and I don't drink and stuff or whatever, but he had all kind of liquor, all the biggest bottles of every kind of liquor you can think of. He had weed, everything laid out for us. He was like, yo, help yourself. He had cooked everything. It was so, he was staying in these apartments in the Valley, these kind of, one of them apartments where all them artists used to stay. I forgot. I can't think of the name. But he was so sweet. And he was just like, really sweet. Hey, you guys, you want this? Not trying to, fucking up excuse my language. He wasn't trying to, flirt with nobody, none of that. And then a few of the Outlaws came over later, and they was the same way. They was just like being gentlemen, so nice to us. It was like no, you didn't have to worry about nobody trying to, sleep with you or nothing. It was a cool evening, and we finished it was still kind of light when we finished, maybe 6 or 7, and we just left, and it was cool. So, and he would always tell me after the sessions, he would just come and be like, yo, Nanci, thank you for lacing my songs. You sound so great. I really appreciate you really hooking my songs out. He was just nice like that to me. Really nice, just a nice person. So I know he had a side of him that was just drama-free. But, when you're around a certain element, you kind of, that energy, it's crazy. And, so I just feel bad that he's not here anymore.
Right. So I want to go back to the Tupac and Biggie incident. So Tupac felt like Biggie and Puffy knew he was going to get set up, and the only person that he felt like was solid was Little Sean.
Yeah, there was some rapper called Little Sean. I never forget that, and he loved it. He was like, that was my dude, because I think he said it was Puffy, Biggie, a couple of somebody else was up there. I forgot he said, but I just remember he was like that. The Little Sean was like, oh my God, he was like Tupac. He ran over there. He said, but everybody else was standing there like didn't move, didn't come try to help him or nothing. I was like, really? I don't know if that's true, but so if you ever find out who Little Sean is, he can tell you, because I know Tupac loved him for that. He was like, that's my dude. He seemed like he was sincere. He seemed like the only one that didn't know about it. I was like, oh, you never know if that's true. I don't know.